This video is a part 1 of ecosystem in case of ecology. So let's have an introduction about this. An organism in the nature always associated with individuals of its own species and of different species or community along with their physical and chemical environment or habitat. There is an uninterrupted interaction among organisms and between organisms along with their habitat resulting into an integrated and functional unit. These organisms interact with the natural environment within 20-kilometer range over Earth's surface of Earth to make an ecosystem. In ecosystem, all biotic and abiotic components of the environment connected through energy flow and nutrient cycle. The term ecosystem was coined by Sir Arthur G. Tansley in 1935. He defined ecosystem as a system resulting from the integration of all living and non-living factors of the environment. It involves energy and cycling of nutrients between biotic and abiotic components. In 1935, E.P. Odum explains the ecosystem as a basic functional unit which consists of living and non-living factors integrating each other and is necessary for the development and maintenance of the system. In 1975, he further elaborated the term ecosystem as any unit which includes all living organisms in the given area interacting with abiotic component to maintain the flow of energy that leads to clarify defined trophic structure, biotic diversity, and exchange of materials in living and non-living component within the system. In the simplest term, ecosystem is the assemblage of organisms and their associated environment which collectively functions as a system to exchange material and energy. Some European scientists use the alternative term of ecosystem known as biocenosis. The ecosystem in the ecological hierarchy is the first unit that is complete. It bears all biological and physical components that are essential for the survival. Thus, the ecosystem is inimitable to commune ecology. Our sustained life on Earth is a characteristic of ecosystem, not for the individual or population. Types of ecosystem. An ecosystem can be natural or artificial, temporary or permanent, and large or tiny. These ecosystems can be categorized into following categories like natural ecosystems. These ecosystems operate and develop in natural ways with no major interferences by humans. They are further classified on the basis of kind of habitats as terrestrial ecosystems, which consist of grassland ecosystem dominated by grasses and cover about 20% of land surfaces. Savanna ecosystem, grassland with low frequency of trees. Taiga ecosystem, subalpine ecosystem with low or medium sub rainfall having acidic soil. Tundra ecosystem occur in alpine zone between taiga and polar ice zone dominated by lichens, mosses, herbs, grasses and low shrubs. Desert ecosystem with very low rainfall in which warm desert occurs in tropical region and cold desert occurs in temperate zone. And forests ecosystem dominated by trees and found in tropical and temperate zone. Aquatic ecosystem, it is further divided into two types like freshwater ecosystems. This type of ecosystem is further categorized as lotic ecosystem of running water as stream or river ecosystem, or lentic ecosystem of still water such as lake or pond ecosystem. These ecosystems include shallow water ecosystem along coastal line, tidal zone, then estuarine ecosystem of river mouth, and deep sea ecosystem beyond coastline. Marine ecosystem, artificial ecosystems. These are also known as man-made ecosystems. In 1959, Odum classified artificial ecosystems on the basis of photosynthesis respiration ratio into three types. Stabilized ecosystems. This type of ecosystem is formed when photosynthesis or respiration ratio is almost 1. Then nototropic ecosystem. This type of ecosystem is formed when photosynthesis respiration ratio is more than 1. Then heterotrophic ecosystem. This type of ecosystem is formed when autotrophic ecosystem. Wait a minute. First, a stabilized ecosystem. The next artificial ecosystems are also there. These are also known as man-made ecosystems. And Adam classified artificial ecosystems on the basis of photosynthesis respiration ratio. That means P by R into three types. These are artificial ecosystems, not natural ones, the created ones. So Adam classified this into three based on P by R ratio. Like stabilized ecosystems, this type of ecosystem is formed when photosynthesis by respiration ratio is almost 1. Autotrophic ecosystem, this type of ecosystem is formed when photosynthesis respiration ratio is more than 1. Heterotrophic ecosystem, this type of ecosystem is formed when the photosynthesis by respiration ratio is less than 1. These ecosystems are regularly manipulated by humans, in which addition of energy and natural balance is disturbed at a particular period of time, like croplands such as rice fields, sugarcane, wheat fields, maize, orchards, gardens, cities, villages, aquarium, and many more. And micro ecosystems. The natural ecosystems are generally larger in size, in which large number of factors operates at a particular time, leading to great complexity. So it is not very easy to study them with the normal scientific methods. Therefore, ecologists are continuously working on different methods to reduce the number of variables and to work in a system with a discrete boundary. Ecologists are trying to stimulate micro ecosystems in the laboratory conditions that can be replicated and manipulated when they want. These micro ecosystems can be built by taking one or few species at a time from oxenic cultures. And oxenic culture is a bacterial culture which consists of single species. It's a bacterial culture with only one species. Okay, oxenic culture. And then studying the different desired combinations. Recently, the concept of polyoxenic cultures has been developed. Odom and others have elucidated the micro ecosystem concept. The natural ecosystems do not have separate boundaries. An ecosystem progressively combines with the adjacent one through a transitional zone called the ecotone. Here we can see that one forest ecosystem is there, ecotone is there, grassland ecosystem is there. Ecologists are trying to stimulate microorganisms or ecosystems in the laboratory conditions that can be replicated and manipulated when they want. These micro ecosystems can be built by taking one or few species at a time from a axenic cultures. Axenic culture is a bacterial culture which consists of a single species, and then studying in different desired combinations. Recently, the concept of polyaxenic cultures has been developed. Odom and others have elucidated the micro ecosystem concept. The natural ecosystems do not have separate boundaries. Ecotone, we were learning about ecotone. The ecotone consists of species present in two adjacent ecosystems. Generally, the ecotone has other species which are not present in both ecosystems. The ecotone has more population density of certain species as compared to either of the adjoining communities. This phenomenon is known as an edge effect. Coastal zone where the land and the ocean meet. Due to the flow of tides, the coastal zone does not follow the fixed boundaries on the seaward and landward direction. As a result, it provides the place for those organisms who can survive on land as well as in the water, and also increases the biodiversity. It also contains specific plants like mangroves that flourish in salt water. The most common example of ecotone is estuary, where river meets the sea. In estuary, there is a regular mixing of fresh water There is a regular mixing of fresh water and seawater, which results in higher biodiversity. Estuary present in Chennai, where the river Adyar meets the sea. I'm not sure about the pronunciation, sorry. It accommodates large number of organisms, including many species of bird. Next topic we will be learning after some time in the next video. Thank you for listening.